committee members, last time I was here, there are a few things that I mentioned, most particularly regarding the file on my right. When I went back again to our office, I look at the file with some of my colleagues, and then I think the first remark I made was that the file was closed, which I discovered is not a closed file. It's still rolling. Just that it has not been very active, because it has been since the last letter was April 2025. So my sincere apologies on that. And also, my memory could not serve me well. I mentioned that it was a general file instead of Janneh Commission. It is Janneh Commission file. I've also discovered that. So my sincere apologies for those errors, to keep your record straight. Basically, I don't want to mention this thing several times, but as Secretary of Cabinet and Head of the Civil Service, which was recently put together before we had the Secretary General, and then when we had the Secretary General, the Secretary of Cabinet was under the Secretary General, which all of us as civil servants are answerable to the Secretary General. With those changes were made, you have the Secretary of Cabinet and Head of the Civil Service, then you have the Chief of Staff. So the Office of the President is, as I said, yes, I'm the Secretary of Cabinet and Head of the Civil Service, but we also have the Chief of Staff that is responsible for the Office of the President. My role as, I don't want to dwell much on that. I'm sure all of you knows that, because you know the responsibilities. Mainly focusing on cabinet matters, CPs. When I say CP, I mean cabinet papers. Also taking minutes during cabinet meetings. The other aspect, that is Head of the Civil Service, we deal with the PMO, Public Service Commission, and the Ministry of Public Service, and the entire civil service. So that was just a clarification on how we operate. So that is why when the file was requested, I did not bring the file personally. I came with the Chief of Staff. The chair can attest to that. We came together, we brought the file together, just to confirm that this is the file. On this, I think apart from that, just a few things also on the side of my letter. The system is, like Office of the President is the core of the system. And then we have branches, that is the ministries. So these ministries where you have most of the technical people. For us, is coordination and implementation of government programs. Why I was saying most of the time, like Cabinet Office, we do not have a specific file on Janneh Commission, that is the Cabinet Office. But also, we always have letters, we call them flashpoints. You don't normally have, apart from a report from Cabinet, how do you call it, Cabinet Task Force, we don't have full reports, because we always direct, you can see most of our letters are short. So it's always redirected to ministries to take care of it. That is why when I got the summon, what I did was, okay, this is the Office of the President, but I think the Ministry of Justice, since they are the people responsible for this, redirect your inquiries to this. That will help quicker than me looking for information here. because of cabinet office don't have a specific file for this. It has nothing to do with concealing information, because I can remember when this thing started, the first thing we did was to bring the media to the office of the president to look at all the cars that are there. I don't know whether you have seen it on TV.
Witness, we will go into those.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
We just want to hear your apologies.
Thank you. Oh, thank you very much. Thank you. Thank you
for the corrections, because when these documents were requested by these honorable members, the response we got from you were like they do not exist. But then, since now you've provided and then you made an apology, we will take it from there. And only perhaps to caution you that as the Secretary to Cabinet and Head of the Civil Service, that's a very important office. And I could say it's an apex office for all the civil servants. So a lot more witnesses would be answering to this committee. So if you, one way or the other, had an error, that was a serious thing. But the fact that now you've corrected it and apologized, we'll take it from there. So at this point, I will hand you over to the legal team to continue with the process of questions and answers.
You could see that, if I can read it out, this is a document that is submitted to us, so it is not confidential. Preliminary reports received from Inter Alia, amongst others, the Central Bank of the Gambia, Social Security and Housing Finance Corporation, Gambia Ports Authority, Gambia Telecommunications Company Limited, etc. The list goes on. Indicate that substantial funds were either directly or indirectly withdrawn, paid out or expended on instructions or directives received from the Office of the President during the tenure in office of the former President Jammeh, sometimes for unknown purposes. Now, this paragraph infers that reports were submitted from these different institutions, the ministries, departments, and institutions. Those reports would ordinarily be submitted to cabinet, wouldn't they? Is there enough time?
Yeah, but I still need to, because as I said, if you have reports normally brought to the attention of cabinet, ordinarily I would say yes, it should come to cabinet. Gambia Ports Authority, Telecommunications Company Limited, yeah. Reports.
And perhaps the minutes will confirm or show these reports. Yes, because Mr. Njie, this instrument in itself, the one you're perusing, it emanates from cabinet. It emanates from nowhere else. So the president himself endorsed this and established the commission. That is the power given to him by the Constitution. And that paragraph does not mention where the reports were submitted to. So the natural conclusion is that they were submitted to cabinet. Isn't that so? So at this juncture, I would make an application, Honorable Chair, that the said reports are submitted to this committee, and any deliberation around those reports, if not contained in the minutes already sought for, are submitted. Any considerations and conclusions are also submitted. Does the chair want me to itemize that? Well,
you can.
We can do that subsequently.
Want to do that later?
Yes. Does the chair prefer I do it now?
Well, let's do it now.
As you please. So, Honorable Chair, I make an application to request that the witness provide 1. Reports submitted to cabinet by the ministries, departments, and institutions referenced in legal notice number 15 of 2017. Number 2, any report or minutes derived from deliberations on the reports, if not already contained in the minutes and reports earlier sought. Three, any conclusions born from the reports. And out of the abundance of caution, I would say 4, any other information or record in relation to those reports. Mr. Njie, I believe you were calling my attention on something. Would you like to? Please. That's fine. We can always. Chair, can I proceed?
Are you referring to the inter alia reports on MOJ 2?
Yes.
Okay.
Now, Mr. Njie, I would like you to make reference to that file you provided. Go to minute 44. So, Mr. Njie, just to put, for transparency purposes, to put the viewers on notice, the letter, the subject of the letter is the halting of tractor sales, being a decision from Cabinet, and a decision of Thursday, the 21st of June, 2018 is referenced. Now, Honorable Chair, I've already made the application, and I need not make a subsequent application, just to put the witness on notice and to aver his mind to this letter. It's of particular interest to the committee.
Yeah, request granted.
Is also another decision from Cabinet imposing a moratorium on the sales of assets identified by the Janneh Commission. Isn't that correct? Is this moratorium still standing, Mr. Njie?
Sorry, I don't want to say I don't know, but I have no idea about that, Frank. I'm not aware it is on, neither it is still standing.
So we have established that the file is an open file.
Exactly.
So because it's an open file, there is no final report on the file. We should indicate that there are still certain assets. At least we hope there are assets that were salvaged. Correct? Are you following?
No, sorry, I'm sorry.
So do you need a minute to?
No, you can repeat that.
The file is not a closed file.
It is not, yes.
That is established.
Yes.
And when you look at the last folio on the file, it indicates that the file is still a running file.
It's still
an active file.
It's an active file, yes.
Which also indicates, since a moratorium was placed, it indicates that there are assets yet to be sold. Because you cannot put a moratorium on the sale of nothing, can you?
No.
So indeed there are assets to be sold.
Yes, I can tell you yes, because at the beginning when I make the introduction, I did mention what we have behind, and then still now they have not been purchased, some of the vehicles.